Hey, it's Nikki Michelle Sue here from the Happiness Button. I have an awesome message here for you today for those of you who are perfectionists. I often hear women say, hey, I need to stay on top of things. I need to get it right. I need to make it really good or perfect. On one hand, because if I don't do that, then things will fall apart. They'll get messy, things won't get done. So it feels like I'm hearing them say I have to do one thing or the other. It's one or the other. I'm here today to give you a message around how you don't need to do that. There is that saying, have your cake and eating it. Well, this is kind of like that, but not, because what we're going to do is going to take these two things and turn them around on the head and create something completely different, something much nicer, so you don't have to choose between one or the other. The reason why I'm making this video is because I've just come back from the ladies' lunch. Bunch of awesome women, very successful in business and in their careers. And there's this theme that's coming up around one or the other. For one woman, for one friend, it's, I'm in this relationship, but I feel like I have to choose between that or work, because if this relationship is distracting me too much from work. So it's one or the other. For another woman there, it's like, well, I want to get all these things done, all these things that I'm now no longer passionate about, but I feel like they have value and I should contribute them in some way. Or there's what my heart wants. It's what I'm passionate about over here. And it felt like she had to choose between one or the other. And for myself, just a couple of weeks ago, I was struggling with a really tricky spot. I was resisting vulnerability, basically. And I was going in deep, and I was going, oh, I have to fix it or be on top of it, this vulnerability thing. Because if I don't do this, I'll just fall into a messy puddle. Same thing, is that one or the other. Thankfully, in that same day afterward, when I realized I was struggling with one or the other, I realized that I didn't have to be choosing. There is, if you imagine these two things on a spectrum, we don't need to actually stay here or somewhere in between. Black, white, in between, forget that. Because there's this other spot right here that's about color and smell and taste. It's not just that continuum of black and white that you need to choose from. For me, on that vulnerability subject, I realized that it wasn't about falling into a heap, and it wasn't about staying on top of things and fixing it. The point here, that third point outside that continuum, above that continuum really, was about knowing that I could feel the mess and be on top of it at the same time. But rather than the qualities of both of these places, from here, I could draw from the good parts of here. I needed to feel it. I needed to know what was going on so that I could honor it and give space for it and then eventually release it. And over here, I could draw from what was here as well, because I could go, well, I have tools, I have resources. I could be doing both of these things at the same time. And when I'm doing it from here, it doesn't feel like what it feels like here or here. It feels like a completely different and new thing. In my next video, I'm going to share with you a client's personal experience. It's her story, really. It's a little case study about how she needed to be on top of things and how she found a more joyous, a more juicy way of doing that. Exactly by going not in the same continuum, not by choosing one or the other, but by going outside that completely, about having the best of both worlds and none of their liabilities, because you're in a completely different space. You're in an elevated place right here. I'm Nikki Michelle Sue from the Happiness Button. Stay tuned for the next video, and in the meantime, leave any comments or questions below. And yes, I have another video coming about this topic. I'll see you soon.